Hello everyone, this is Kody from Fishin, Merfolk Podcast. We have a great video for you today. As you know, we kind of have this little side project going called The History of Merfolk, and we're trying to get a playset of each Merfolk ever printed, and all, cards that deal with Merfolk and all that fun stuff. And I have a neat little package that came in the mail, actually a little while ago. I haven't had time to quite do of this video for some time, but I'm finally getting to it. This is from Canadian content producer Mr. Bevers. So I will go ahead and link him at the end of this so that you can just go and subscribe. He has great videos. My favorites personally are the Masterful Monday series, where he goes through and he opens one of each of the master sets. And it's just cool. Like I'm a big fan of those sets, of the reprints from those sets, and it's really cool to just open it and maybe you get like an M17, you get one of the fetches, and that's like super exciting, right? And just kind of living through his pack openings is super cool. So I tune in every Monday for that Masterful Monday series, and that's my favorite piece of content that he produces. But you know what? I suggest going through because he does lots of old pack openings. He does lots of sealed pool stuff, and there's lots of great content. He also streams Magic. He also streams No Man's Sky. I watched him a couple days ago play some No Man's Sky. He streams a lot of games, so he's just a great all-around content producer. So we're gonna go ahead and open this and just see what we have in this sweet little package. All right, so here we are. We have the package from Mr. Bevers, obviously flipped over for his address and all that fun stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and open this. So I had actually commented on, he had a post, one of the Masterful Monday videos that I just already talked about. And in one of them, he opened a foil Merfolk looter. And so I just said, ooh, shiny Merfolk looter, that's super sweet. So, went ahead and he asked me, is there an address I can send this to? So we talked over direct message on Twitter, and he sent me, he said, well, this is a great program that you're trying to do, and he basically dug through and sent me, looks like a lot of stuff here, so let's go ahead and see what we got. Alright, so the first thing is a foil Master of the Pearl Trident. Now this one was originally printed in Alpha, and this one is an M13. Yeah, M13. However, it is definitely a unique creature, just a 1/1 for 1. And this was kind of how you beat in, with the original Merfolk. So Merfolk of the Pearl Trident is kind of neat, and just the unique piece of Merfolk history. Umar Entangler from both of the Gatewatch is a 2/1 with prowess, so that's pretty neat. Just kind of generic Merfolk, very Zendikari Merfolk, 2 legs, that sort of thing. Merfolk of the Depths from Gatecrash. We have a foil Merfolk of the Depths here. It's a 4/2 with flash for 6, which isn't terrible, but it's not great. We're not super excited to be playing this, but it is definitely a good addition to the collection here. Alright, we got a foil Swift Warden. 1 green for a 3/3 with flash. When it enters the battlefield, target Merfolk you control gains hexproof. So this is kind of something that kind of comes in and out of standard Merfolk right now, where Rivals of Ixalan is currently legal. But it's something that just kind of, at least currently, isn't super played. But, who knows? Maybe when Return to Ravnica happens, it'll become something. So we'll see about Swift Warden. Swift Warden is, maybe get there, but not quite. At least not right now. The next one we have is Sworn Guardian. It's a foil Sworn Guardian. It's 1 in a blue for a 1/3, and that's it. I mean, this is just a draft C-, D+. You just kind of, it's a curve filler, blocks things because it has a lot of toughness, and that's pretty much it. Ooh, and we got a Merfolk Branch Walker here. That's pretty spicy. 1 in the green for a 2/1 that when it enters the battlefield, it explores. Modern playable, and we'll see if this ends up being a part of the modern Swolfolk deck. We don't know quite yet, but it is definitely a modern playable card, and Merfolk Branch Walker is pretty sweet. So thank you so much for the Merfolk Branch Walker there. All right, we have an M25 Coral Helm Guide. This is a 2/1 from. It was originally from Battle for Zendikar, obviously from the watermark you can see there. And Coral Helm Guide was pretty sweet. Just kind of helped in the late game. You can make an Eldrazi unblockable, so that was pretty sweet. And it's also an ally, so for those ally decks out there, there you go. And there's that Merfolk Looter I alluded to earlier. 1 in a blue for a 1/1. When you tap, you draw a card and discard a card. And I love the flavor text on there. Merfolk don't always know what they're looking for, but they're certain once they find it. It's pretty cool, just very flavorful. Also, just kind of very classic Merfolk. No legs, just kind of swimming around. Next up, we have another Augur of Bolas, Pauper playable, and just kind of helps you find instants of sorceries, kind of helps you dig a little bit, and it's just a big roadblock because it's 1/3. Oh, and there's another one. So another foil Augur of Bolas, so we'll just go ahead and set it aside with the original one. Next we have a Deep-Root Champion. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you put a +1/+1 counter on Deep-Root Champion. Not really a standard powerhouse or anything like that, but maybe one day there will be a place for Deep-Root Champion, and who knows, so we'll just keep that one set aside. Alright, and we have a Silvergill Adept, an open house promo here. Silvergill Adept is the modern mainstay here, and nothing will change. Silvergill Adept will just kind of continue to be what it is, and we're going to keep Silvergill Adept around, so we just have another promo here. Sweet. And then we have a Waker of the Wilds from Ixalan. 4 mana for a 3/3 isn't too terrible, but it has an ability. X green, put X 1/1 counters on target land you control. That land becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with haste. It's still a land. And this is kind of one that you could have seen in Zendikar, right? Because they had all the emerge and all, or not emerge, the ability that made lands elementals, and the Noyandara effect really. And so Waker of the Wilds is very interesting. It's definitely not good enough to really see a whole bunch of play in Standard, but maybe in Commander it could see some play. And looks like there's another Waker of the Wilds here to finish us out. So we have 2 foil Waker of the Wilds from original Ixalan. So what we have here, let's go ahead and slide these over. So thank you to Mr. Bevers for these sweet foil Merfolks. They're not going to go into the binder just yet because I haven't gotten to these more recent sets. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and single sleeve these or double sleeve them and set them aside for when we get to those areas. Thank you so much. Well, that was super awesome. So thank you very much again to Mr. Bevers for sending us all those foil Merfolks. I know that we haven't quite gotten to a lot of the ones that he sent us, but I will have them sleeved and set aside. All of the Merfolk that I'm putting in, obviously I'm trying to get foils if there are foils available, so they're all getting inner sleeved, and they're all going to be set aside. Trying to keep them in as good a condition as I can. This is just a historical effort. We're trying to maintain the quality of these cards, and we're just trying to have a good catalog of all the Merfolk going forward. And any events that I go to in the future, GPs, what have you. I'll try to have my binder on hand so I can walk people through the history of Merfolk, and it'll be something super cool that we can just kind of have to show and share with people. And if you would like to donate to the Merfolk historical preservation that we are working on, you can send your singles to Fishin, a Merfolk Podcast, P.O. Box 7925, Moore, Oklahoma 73153. This is being primarily funded through my own funds as well as the Patreon at patreon.com/fishcastmtg. So thank you very much to all of our supporters there at Patreon. We definitely could not do as much as we do of the show without your support. So thank you again for your continued support. And find us on all the social medias as at FishcastMTG, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And find our podcast wherever you find your podcast: Apple, Google Play, Spreaker, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, and Spotify as well. So thank you very much for following us on all those places, and following us on Twitch as at twitch.tv/FishcastMTG. Thank you so much for your support, and we will see you in the next video.